$100 already on clothes.
Dude, I spent like $400 on a gun.
God damn!
You haven't been to the gun store yet, huh? Alright, everybody, welcome to High Couch Potato, the podcast where we talk about video games and all the holidays in November. My name is Brent, aka Boo Up. I'm here with my man Rick, aka A New Perfect Day. What's going on, man?
I noticed that I talk about a lot of food all the time.
Wait,
But-
a lot of what? Did I hear you right?
Yeah, see, I'm going crazy. It might be from the medicine that I took. But basically, I went to the store today at... I forgot what store it was called. Living Spaces.
Okay.
And, you know, we're just window shopping. And then I just had a sudden bubble gut going on. So I was like, oh, God, I don't know if I'm going to make it home. So I entered the bathroom and I was like, oh, God, there's the janitor. He's cleaning every stall. And he had all the stalls open. You know, it was all cleaning everything. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have to use the bathroom. So I went in, blew up the toilet. And then when I was leaving, it started to clog. And I was like, God damn, this is going to be so fucked up. So I was like flushing the toilet. Like
Wait,
4
was
or
the
5
guy
times.
still in the bathroom, dude?
Yeah, he's next to
The whole
either
time
left
you
or
were
right
there?
stall, yeah, cleaning. And I was like, dude, go away, go away. I should have waited till he was done cleaning, but I couldn't hold it. So basically, I had to, you know, I was flushing and it was stuck. It wouldn't go down, you know, like the first initial flush went down, so, you know, nothing was there. But, like, I clogged it. And then I was trying to, like, walk out, like, quickly. So I was, like, washing my hands. And he was, like, asking me. He's like, oh, man, are you all right? Are you all right? And he's, like, staring at me. I was like, why would you ask me that? What? I was like, why would you ask me? In my head. But I was like, what? You know, like, nah, man. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. You know, like, he's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm good. I was, like, feeling bad now because, like, he's like looking out for me and you know, he's trying to check on me, but I ended up clogging the toilet and I ran out so fast. As soon as he walked into my stall to clean and saw that, you know, the toilet was clogged, I was already gone at that point. I was like on the other side of the entire store. And I was like, oh shit, we gotta go. We'll come back later. I'll never wear a green jacket in that store again, so you won't recognize me. But yeah, that was my day. That's what happened.
Dude, of all the ways we would have opened up this podcast, that was the last thing I fucking expected, dude. I wish you just would have heard him, like, as you walk out, like, man, like, you like, yell something out as you're leaving the bathroom.
Dude,
Oh
yeah,
my
as soon as he
fucking
walked
God.
in the stall, I was already gone. And I was like, gone.
That's fucking hilarious, man. First of all, though, Living Spaces, man, how do you just, you know, say the name without thinking about the theme song or the little jingle in your head?
Living Spaces. Is
Living
it that one?
Spaces. I know,
Living
dude. That's so good, bro.
I didn't realize they had that commercial. Oh, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, they have that commercial.
As soon as you said I went to Living Spaces, that's what popped in my head. Like, if you tell somebody, oh, I'm eating Hot Pockets, you know, what pops in your head? Hot
Yeah.
Pocket.
Hot Pocket. Like, you want to play some Crossfire? Crossfire! Yeah, come have the gloves and shit.
That's right. You can't just say the name of the company or anything. You actually gotta, like, sing out their theme song in your head, man. That show is a good jingle or a good theme song, dude. We should write one of those. People make billions writing theme songs, man.
Exactly. Oh, and I wanted to mention, but speaking of singing, I was trying to sleep last night, and apparently next door, my neighbors, they are having like some huge concert going on. So they're doing, I don't know if it's karaoke, but they had like a band was playing like super loud, and I was like, I think that's why I woke up with a headache today, because they weren't good. So I couldn't sleep, and you know, I had a headache. I was like, God damn, dude.
They were not good.
I closed the window. It was still going through my window. I was like, damn it, dude. Am I going to be one of those old guys that have to call the police?
Damn. Damn, the tables have fucking turned, man. If that's the case, man. Look at you, dude. Look at where you're at in life, man. Second of all, after the living spaces, the fact that you were able to just drop a bomb, dude, in a public bathroom like that with someone else already in the bathroom, man. I applaud that, dude. That's amazing.
Exactly. And you know what made it subtle is like when he was cleaning, he would flush the toilet. So I was like timing myself every time he flushed the toilet.
Wait, you don't flush your own toilet yourself to cover that shit?
I was gonna do it, but then he did it for me, so it's just like
oh my fucking god. He waited for his flushes. Oh my god. That's
yeah. Thankfully he was flushing, but also I wanted to mention too. Alan came over for the weekend, and he was talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Would you be down to actually start after we're done with Red Dead to start assembling like a Dungeons and Dragons like every Saturday or something?
Yeah, I might be down. Is he gonna run it, or he know someone?
No, but I said that like we were all kind of interested because I would like to actually learn all that stuff, and maybe we can form, like a couple of us, like 10 of us or something, and we just have beer and pizza and just just play, just because to meet up and stuff for like I don't know, a couple hours. It doesn't have to be like the entire day. But he was like showing me a video of I think these voice actors, and they're like voice actors for anime and cartoons, and they were playing Dungeons and Dragons. And then he was saying that these guys have been playing one, I forgot what they called it, like a campaign or something.
Mm-hmm.
But basically they've been playing for almost forever, for like a month or something. And
wait, is it the dude that does McCree? Is it Matthew Mercer?
Don't know. Maybe.
I think I've seen that one.
But basically at the end of the game, or like they're like getting all emotional because the DM was like describing the story, like how they beat this boss, and they're on the verge of dying, but they can hear the cheers from the crowds, from the people outside, because they saved the world and whatnot. So all the players basically were getting pretty emotional. They went through this long ass campaign, with all of them, the friendship, the bonds together, and finally, they're just there to collect their rewards. And right when they're about to end the game, one of them like says, he's like, "Oh, I raised my axe, in the moment of glory." And he's like, I chop off my hand, I take the gauntlet, and I teleport myself out of there. Bye, guys. And he like ends it like that. So all of the people were shocked because he not only jacked the reward, he like teleported away because they were like hanging on a cliff after they defeated the boss and left them to die. And so he ended his campaign like that, and they're like in awe shock, like what just fucking happened? We just saved the world together, and all of a sudden one betrays them. And I was like thinking, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm definitely gonna be that guy. So if we're like hanging off a cliff and on the verge of death, I'm gonna have to put some of you guys to sleep while we're hanging off the edge of the cliff.
Wait, that doesn't benefit you at all, dude. Plus sleep has an area. Sleep has an area of effect, so it's gonna affect you too, dude. If we're all hanging around,
I'm gonna be I'll be the first on top of that cliff, and
that doesn't make sense.
Oh man, I'll figure a way out.
Like, okay, just because we all sleep doesn't mean you have an advantage in climbing up a cliff, dude. What?
That, if not, then I'll take you guys with me.
Oh my fucking god, dude. That's funny.
So you guys better watch out for me.
I think I've seen those a couple of times with the voice actors, but it's a dude that does fucking everybody actually. Matthew Mercer does McCree. He does. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on the other characters he does, but he does a shit ton of like video game characters too, and then anime, just like you said as well. But yeah, I've seen a couple of the games. Right, they stream it on Twitch, right? Is that where you watched it, or on YouTube?
I watched it on YouTube, but it could have been streamed on Twitch, so I don't know.
Yeah, man. No, those are pretty good. Those are like super advanced. So, and yeah, the whole thing with those is you got to have a pretty good dungeon master or DM. That
Yeah, like
you
he
know,
built up that that atmosphere for everybody, and I was like, damn, what if it was not somebody that was pretty good at describing something?
yeah. I think I've been spoiled the times I played because I had pretty good DMs, and then at the same time, they had I don't know if they had those props, but they had like actual dioramas and shit, and they had little figures that represented you and things like that.
Yeah.
I played games where it's also just like a big mat, and they draw stuff on the mat as you explore, turn corners and stuff. Each has its own kind of like, quirks and things to it. But yeah, I mean, I'd be down, dude. That game's fun, man. I think even more so, I've been getting into it. I think I told you I've been reading Goblin Slayer, which oh man, we'll have to come back to later. And one of the did we talk about this last time? I think we did. In one of the I guess volumes of the manga, they started out just talking about like D&D and how basically this whole comic can be a D&D, or they said the gods rolled dice and determined everything. And I think that those are really just the beginnings of video games, right? RPG, you roll dice, you get stats. You have a chance. It's RNG at its most base form, is just rolling a dice, right? So yeah, man, I'd be down. 10 people's kind of a lot, though.
Well, just generally people that would like to play.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be 10 people, maybe like 5 that maybe be interested in playing. But I just would like to actually learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons and say that I've actually did it, for once. Because I would always see people do it, and then I was like, oh man, I don't have the people to play with, or I don't want to get too involved in something that I might not be interested. So it seems pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, we might be able to get something together, man. But, dude, we're getting old, man.
I'm gonna have to call the cops on these guys.
Just think about that and Dungeons and Dragons, playing all that, just kicking back, No, I mean, you got me thinking too. Like last night, I went to a Halloween party, and I was done when I arrived, man.
Oh wow!
I know, dude. I was so
You're like, I want to go home.
What's up?
You're like, I want to go home already.
I know, man. 'Cause I had just gotten off. It was funny. So yesterday, I basically played Red Dead the whole day. And then I went out to dinner, and then I came back home. I had some downtime, so I played Red Dead for another hour, and I went to this Halloween party, which was cool. I mean, I don't know. Halloween's just always the same now, dude. Of course, you had your slutty nurses out. There was a lot of, there was a lot of like political costumes out there, slutty Trumps and all that stuff. It was kind of weird. This girl like had her hair like all combed back and shit. It was kind of weird. I want to get one of those costumes, dude, where it looks like you're riding a horse or something. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I was totally talking about this with my coworker about
those
having
costumes
a horse.
Are the best.
Yeah, I saw one with like a cowboy, and I was like, oh shit.
Like this one guy had one where he was like a person was giving him a piggyback ride or something, and I was like, what? That's awesome, dude. How do you do that? But yeah, I mean, it was good times, but the whole time I was just thinking about, man, I want to go home and play Red Dead, dude. It shows how much of an old man I am, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize that everything was going on this weekend. So there's like people going to parties. There's a party next door. I thought it'd be next weekend, but
no, you know what? And I didn't realize that until Friday, because Halloween is this coming Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So it won't make sense to have a costume party on like November 3rd. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So everything
Did you hear that people are trying to petition to have Halloween on every, I think, last Saturday of October? So that way, because, all the Halloweens mainly fell in the middle of the week, so no one can really celebrate that. So let me pull that up.
I mean, I'm not mad at that anyway. Nobody really, I mean, it doesn't really matter anyways. It's just for the kids, right?
No. It's for everybody. Oh, there you go. 1,000 sign petition asking Trump to move Halloween to a Saturday.
Oh God, yeah. If he does anything while he's up there, that's good. And let him move Halloween to the last weekend of October. I don't know. I don't know if I'm rocking with that, man. I don't know. I think it's fine just having people party on the weekend before, even if it's like a whole week before. I think I'm cool with that. That and not that many kids are gonna knock on my door now because they have school the next day. I'm with it, dude.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Are you gonna hand out candy this year?
Negative. I hope not.
Me neither, man.
No, come on, kids.
You turn off all the
We're
lights.
in a ghetto area.
Well, see, your house is kind of sick though, because you have all your cars there. And you can put the gate up. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for people to get to your front door and shit.
You'd be surprised, man. People are like on the roof asking for candy. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm having to go
Well,
above and beyond to block people from getting to my front door, dude.
I think we one time like turned off the lights and parked the cars in. So, but we still had people coming in ringing the doorbell for candy.
Jesus.
Dang, you are that hungry.
And see,
Candy.
and you got to give them the candy, or else they're gonna walk through your car straight again with a key out next time. Dude, just key that shit as they walk by.
Exactly. Exactly.
Although I don't think kids are jerks anymore nowadays. At least I haven't seen it recently, man. Where people be like fucking up people's cars or egging people's shit anymore. So
Yep.
Who knows, man? But try it out, Rick. Don't hand out candy this year and see if people egg your house.
Or just open the door and just stare at them. Because I want the candy for myself. I don't know. Like every time, like there's not enough people that come by, I'm like, yes, all of this remaining candy is for me. But then there's times when there's too many people that come to the house, and I'm like, fuck, I only have a handful of candy for myself.
You only hand out like the shitty candy, dude. You have Twix and you don't hand out the Twix.
Dude, I do that.
You hand out the almond Hershey's and shit, man. All the bullshit candy, dude.
Yeah, I try to keep the Snickers for myself.
That is the move, man. Dude, I've been actually surprised at work. There's this bowl kind of near my desk, man, where people have just been coming every day and just dumping big ass bags of candy in it, right?
Yeah.
And it is empty by the end of the day. Every day, dude. It amazes me so much. I just
Wow,
don't
it's like
understand,
people
man.
like are candy whores or something.
Something like that, yeah. Every time someone walks by, they take one and they're like, "Oh, actually, I'm gonna take more," and they take like a whole handful. You know what I mean? It's not just
Jeez.
one. It's kind of wild, man. I was gonna donate myself, but I was like, man, nah, that stuff's just gonna be gone in a day. I felt bad too because someone brought their kids to the office, right? And it was like near the end of the day, so all the candy was gone already. So I was like, oh,
Wow.
nice one, guys. Thanks for putting out candy for the kids. I'm like, hey, asshole, we did. All right. It's all your other coworkers out here ruining the fun, man.
Yeah, I think at my old job they had something like that, but everyone took all the good candy. So then, like this older guy, he like put stuff in it, and then I was like, "Oh hell yeah, it's filled back again." And I checked, and it was like pretzels and like old school candy. I was like, "Damn, dude, why are you gonna put this in and torment me like this?"
Pretzel. That shit just like left over at his house and shit, man.
Exactly. It's like
That's fucking funny.
expiration date already expired. Oh god.
Ah, man. So, anyways, Halloween is coming up. If you guys do go out on the 31st, have a safe Halloween. I don't think it gets said enough, dude. Because wild shit be happening out there sometimes, man. You get stuck in dimensional portals, you get possessed by a demon or something. Who knows, man?
Fuck. Good thing I'm not gonna get, I don't know, trick or treating. I coughed.
But anyways, man, this was actually a big week for video games, huh? It's kind of wild. Kind of snuck up on us. I know we were super excited last week, last week's podcast for Red Dead. Kind of underplayed the release of Spider-Man's DLC. Did you touch this at all? Did you buy it yet? You haven't bought it yet, huh?
No, not at all. And I was like thinking, man, 2 great games came out, within a short time. And I was like, dude, I think these games are going to be like the best games of the year kind of thing. But
Yeah.
Red Dead, I don't know. I haven't gone through everything. I'm still on chapter 2 of Red Dead. So
Mm-hmm.
it's still looking like a really great game so far. And I think I accidentally, like, I was browsing random game articles, and IGN, one person in IGN already gave it a 10 out of 10. Like, fuck,
Dude, I know.
dude.
I think IGN gave it a 10. This other site I go to, Easy Allies, gave it a 10. I was gonna see another couple reviews, and then I read somewhere that said, "Don't read this review. They spoil the ending." Like in the first paragraph, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop reading reviews now, just to protect myself, man."
Yep.
But so, do you think that was a mistake, man, for Spider-Man? Well, I guess it's just DLC, right? I mean, I've heard that it could take 2 hours to beat, so you can play through it in one sitting, you know. Um, but why would you, if you had a video game or some kind of DLC coming out, would you release it the same week as Red Dead 2, man?
I'm not sure if I would, but like maybe they had that time constraint, and also like who from people that played Spider-Man, who would actually play Red Dead kind of thing too. The
Yeah,
audience is kind of
that's true too.
different. There's people that just like to play superhero movies and not, in the Western kind of games. So I don't know. Maybe it was a good idea or a bad idea. Either way, people probably have beat it that fast.
Yeah, I think it was maybe a perfect storm for some people. Maybe because, all to be told, Spider-Man was definitely a console seller. I've read a lot of reports of how, Spider-Man's the number one selling PlayStation exclusive ever, ever, ever. And this is more than, I think God of War held that recently when it came out, and it beat God of War, and that beat Gran Turismo even. Gran Turismo is a huge selling game that's a PlayStation exclusive, and Spider-Man beat that. So the sales from that don't just come from people that already own a PS4. I definitely think a lot of people bought PS4s just to play Spider-Man. Might as well get Red Dead 2. I have the console ready. Might as well get another game for it. So it might be the perfect storm for everybody to jump in it as well. It's kind of funny though, because I actually played the DLC for Spider-Man 2, just the first mission though. And then I think I got pulled away. I forgot what else happened because it came out on Tuesday night. And then Red Dead essentially came out on Thursday night at 9:00 West Coast time. So I was able to play maybe 30 minutes of the Spider-Man DLC. And after not playing Spider-Man for maybe a month, man, that game still holds up, dude.
Yeah.
It's still just as fun swinging through New York, man. It's good to see the characters have some fresh dialogue, fresh things to talk about. I really only played through the first story mission, which was kind of interesting because it was different mechanics totally. I don't think in the original game, was there ever a time where we had to prevent people from like robbing a bank and actually taking the money out? I don't think we ever had that kind of scenario, right?
No, but we had the elements, we're stopping the crime in the middle of it.
So basically in this one, I think the first mission we were in a museum or something, and these guys were trying to steal a painting. Of course, I'm Spider-Man. I'm the best, dude. I'm just whooping their ass, right? So like, all right, fuck this. We're just gonna steal random shit off the wall. So they start stealing random shit off the wall, and I guess you have to stop them before they exit the museum. So I was juggling everyone. I was throwing web bombs here, fighting a big guy here, dodging a fucking rocket launcher on this side. Is crazy, but I still felt like I was in control. I was able to do what I was doing. Although there's pretty simple, you can put the game down to 3 buttons: square to hit, triangle, and circle to dodge, or whatever it is. You could break the game down to those 3 buttons, but there's enough creativity within those 3 buttons to do crazy combos and just fuck up a whole room of bad guys. So it was still fun, but I got pulled away, unfortunately. I don't know, man. I feel like I should just put away 2 hours to finish that game, dude.
Yeah, you have to do like 30 minutes at least.
Yeah.
30 minutes dedicated to Spider-Man, and then the rest the Red Dead. Unlimited hours.
Yeah. Because now it was fun going back in there and playing that again as Spider-Man. I was actually reading something interesting too, where people were scared that Spider-Man was going to be too annoying. Did you ever feel like that? That he had too
Never.
many quips, that he was too much of a smart aleck or anything like that?
No, and then it felt kind of balanced too. I thought that the more stuff you unlocked, you know, it'd be more powerful than the original stuff. But I was still using the original gadgets and skills from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and then the enemies are, even though they're kind of the same, it didn't feel like that. It's because the way they came in, the way they were like robbing or doing different, I don't know. It was so far for me, it's not annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I see where it could be. Where it could be, I don't know. You can come in, say something super cheesy way too many times, dude. And you're like, all right, Spider-Man, we get it, dude. You're a kid beating up these old men. We get it, man. But it didn't really come across that way. And I get what you're saying too by just using your original gadgets. I know I unlocked everything at the very, very end, and I still barely used the. I think in this DLC was the first time I used the little spider drones that shot stuff, and it was totally on accident. I was trying to flip through and use the anti-grav things to shoot people in the air, but instead a little drone came out. Those drones kind of own, dude.
Yeah. And they killed pretty fast.
Yeah.
Or knocked them out pretty fast. So
Yeah, they were fucking people up, man. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, ran into, what's her name? Black Cat. She was just kind of hanging out while I was beating up a bunch of dudes in the museum. And then after that, I think I had to meet one of the police sergeants or something. And that's when I got picked up and called away, man. So yeah, I really need to put away some time, maybe a night, just to beat the DLC. I know me, though. They added new street crimes and collectibles, man. So I might have to go through and get all those as well, man. So it might take me more than 2 hours to beat, unfortunately. But other than that, yeah, I haven't played anything else except for Red Dead these past 3.5 days, man. And it's been fulfilling to say the least, dude. How have you found your time with it? I know you haven't played as much as I have, but how have you found your time with it?
So, before we get into it, just so you know that, spoiler alert, we're only in, I don't know, a little bit over chapter 2.
Dude.
Chapter 1?
Wait, what's chapter? Is chapter 2? Oh, no, yeah, chapter 2.
Yeah,
chapter 2.
Chapter 2. So, we haven't progressed further into the story. At least we haven't progressed what we're supposed to be doing. But mainly, as soon as we hit chapter 2, that's all we're going to talk about, by the way. I don't know. I just started downloading that app. Have you tried that app yet? The companion app?
No, because
iPhone?
I forgot my social club login, and I just gave up. I was like, all right, it's cool. I won't use it today. And I think I put it aside and just totally forgot about it.
Yeah, so like I was able to connect it, and I think it's my login for Grand Theft Auto. But basically, you use your phone, the app, or a tablet, and you can pull up the map. So that way you don't have to keep pressing start and holding start. You can just use your phone and tablet to check to see where you're at or where things are, and it's in live time. So you know when you notice like the cursor move on your in-game app, on the phone itself, it'll move also. So that's what I thought was pretty cool.
Wait, but can you mark like checkpoints where you want to go on your phone and it shows up in the game?
Probably. I have not tried.
Man.
I was just looking at where I was going.
That would be mind blowing to me. If you can like mark where you want to go on the map on the phone and it shows up on your game too.
I'm gonna have to verify, yeah, because it's pretty easy to like skim through the map, select icons. Oh, and that was helpful too. Like, you know, like in the in-game, it's kind of hard to identify what those icons mean. But in the app, you know, you just like click it and then it'll say like, okay, this is for gunsmith, ammunition, and all that. And so I don't know, it was a pretty cool feature. But as far as the story wise, I'm really enjoying it. You know, in the first beginning, chapter 1, for those who haven't played, you know, you go and save John Marston, who is the for the sequel of the game. But I was like, you know, the dialogue with the game of John Marston, it looks like something happened between John Marston and what's the main guy's name? Arthur. So I was like, as I was riding along, they were starting to talk about John Marston and how like they don't know, or Arthur doesn't know if he can forgive John Marston for leaving,
Mm-hmm.
leaving the gang, and I was like, dang, I thought because in the sequel, John Marston left the game, or the gang left him.
Mm.
So I'm trying to connect the dots here, like what really happened to John Marston by the end of this game. Because essentially, he left the gang, but he came back after a year, and then Arthur hasn't forgiven him. And so, what will change in the future of this current game that will make John Marston, or the gang, leave John Marston? Like what's going to happen to the gang itself? You only see, spoiler alert for those who haven't played, but you only see Dutch and Bill Williamson, I think, in Red Dead Redemption 1.
You
What
see
happened
Javier
to
too. Javier. That's why you go to
Javier?
Mexico. Yeah.
What about like the other people?
No, you don't see any of them at all. Dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like maybe A, something happened to them, or B, they found their own success and decided to leave the gang at that point.
Yeah.
But we'll find out later on the line. But the thing is, the gameplay of the game is so amazing. It still has some of the elements of Red Dead 1, like where, example, you aim your cursor. Not aiming though, you just like point your cursor in one direction, and then it kind of auto locks when you aim to the person that you're generally looking at when you're aiming. If that makes sense. So like if you're aiming your little cursor without holding your gun, and then you aim your gun, it will kind of do that little auto lock onto the character, and then you can kind of tilt your cursor a little bit upwards, and it will do a instant headshot. So I'm glad that feature was kept alive, kind of thing. So that way I don't have to worry about actually aiming, and because I can't really aim with that kind of sensitivity for the life of me. But yeah, I got to the part of visiting the town, and then you go and hunt, animals. You can hunt animals in the game, but I was hunting a bear, and we were hunting a legendary bear, so it's not a regular bear. And during the mission, all you have to do is just like get to the bear, find the bear, and you kind of escape alive. And then at that point of time, you're given an option. One, you can go keep searching for the bear and kill him, or B, you can go back to base with the person that you were hunting the bear with. So I said, fuck no, I'm gonna go hunt this bear. I told the guy, get the fuck out of here, because I'm gonna hunt the bear and get the credit. But basically, when I got to the area where you have to kill the bear, I shot like one round, and then I noticed the bear started running at me. I shot the second round, I missed, and the bear already closed the gap between us. And I was panicking because I was like starting to reload and shit. And then I noticed a rock on my right side, like a giant rock. So we were playing Ring Around the Rosier with a rock in the middle of us. And then he managed to catch up to me and like almost kill me. Like there's that whole action animation sequence. And I barely escaped alive. So I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have to like do this health. But the entire time he wouldn't let me. The bear wouldn't let me. He was just chasing me. So I couldn't drink my health potion. So for like 2 minutes straight, we we're just running in circles around each other. And I was like, okay, I got to end this somehow. So I totally forgot we had Eagle Eye, which slows down time. I turned around, I aimed my gun, and I was like, yep, I'm going to die. And then I ended up dying for the first time in the game. And I was like, damn it, dude. Gosh damn it. But yeah, other than that, I enjoy the game. There's a lot of features.
Dude.
So.
Yeah, there's so much to do in this game, man. And I think I've played maybe the game like a whole day more than Rick has, yet I'm only 3 or 4 missions ahead of him. And that's because I've just been off just doing whatever. I hunted the bear, same like Rick, and I chose to continue following the bear. And I did. And I kind of saw him through some bushes and a tree. So I let a shot off when the cursor was red. So I knew I got a headshot, right? Got a shot off, but the crosshairs saying I hit weren't red. So I was like, shit, okay, he's still alive. He charges me, and it is just straight out of, what's that movie? Oh, with Leonardo DiCaprio, where he gets attacked by the bear? The Revenant. It's straight out of that, where the bear just attacks you, throws you around and shit. I think you have to mash circle, right? To get your knife out and start stabbing the bear back so he gives you some space. And then I used Eagle Eye just to take him out. Just launched 10 shots in his dome, dude, at the same time. Unfortunately, I was able to kill him, man. But that fight was crazy. So then once you collect the bear pelt, right? It's legendary bear pelt. The game tells you, oh, you could take this to a trapper and they could make gear for you. So I took the pelt to the trapper and I unlocked this whole, like, you can make a legendary bear costume where basically you can wear the bear's head as a hat. You have like this crazy jacket and all this stuff, right? It's awesome, dude. And at the same time, it opens up the rest of his inventory so you can see what else he can make. So you need to get like perfect wolf pelts, perfect cougar pelts, perfect puma pelts, just whatever. You have to get these pelts to make all this stuff. So I spent the next, I don't know, day and a half hunting, man. Day and a half real time. Just hunting stuff, not doing missions, not doing anything. I was hunting, right? So I was out there. I was able to find the legendary beaver, which all men are in search for, you know. Hunted that thing. And was able to catch that and was able to make some sweet moccasins out of it, you know. And just continued hunting and just getting used to the whole hunting thing. Because the thing is there's different qualities to the pelts that you can find just depending on the animal. There's, I think, poor, good, and perfect. And normally the trapper only makes stuff with perfect quality items. And to hunt for the perfect quality pelts is a little bit harder. You actually have to track the animal and make sure it's a good one to find. I think it matters. If they run away from you too much, then their pelts kind of degrade or something like that too. I haven't really figured out the math behind it yet, but that's what I spent a lot of my time in the game doing, is just hunting and stuff, because you could do the upgrades with the trapper. At the same time, you could do upgrades at your camp. The gang has this campsite. You could improve the campsite by donating money, or you can donate the materials to improve it, like making the tents nicer, putting some furs on chairs so they're more comfortable and shit like that. There's just so much you could do all through hunting, right? And I think the game knows when you're lollygagging or when you're just doing anything but the story, right? Because I remember I was out and I'm just hunting in the game. I'm hunting all this shit. And then, I don't know, it must have been like a week in game, right? And I finally go back. And when I go into the camp, someone says, oh, look, Arthur's finally back. I'm like, wait, what? You guys are waiting for me? And they're like, oh, hey, where you been? Everyone's just asking where I've been and shit. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
The pressure now.
They've really been waiting for me, man. And then one of the chicks in the camp was sitting, and she's like, you want to talk, Arthur? You look like you got something on your mind. And I was just like, all right, yeah, let's talk, whatever. Maybe I'll unlock more of his backstory. And I sit down with her, and she goes, what's going on? You haven't been around camp that much. Is everything okay?
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I don't know. I'm just killing animals and killing innocent people. I don't know what I'm doing. We're kind of lost in life. I was like, oh my God, dude.
Damn.
The game fucking knows what I'm doing, man. Even more so, I go on a mission. I finally go on a mission later on, right? And this guy goes, oh, we got to meet this guy at this barn. It's northeast of this town. And my character goes, oh, okay, where's that at? And the guy that's on the mission with me goes, well, you should know. You've been gallivanting around these mountains more than we have. I'm like, oh my God, dude. The game knows I've been out here hunting, man. So it's great, man. It's just so much fun. You can interact literally with every NPC in the game, dude. It's kind of crazy. Like Rick was saying, I think it's L2?
Yeah.
You hold L2 and lock onto someone without your gun out. You can either greet them, you can like throw an insult at them real quick, and then
rob them.
Yeah. It's, oh man, that game is so great. There's so many little towns too that you can run into. I think in the original Red Dead, maybe there's 3 or 4 big towns that you can go to, and then the rest are just little houses, right? In Red Dead 2, I think I've been in half of the map so far. There's already like 6 towns. There's a huge city around too. That's like, I'd imagine it's like old school New Orleans and stuff, because it's by the swamps and everything like that.
Yeah.
But man, this game is so deep. We're barely scratching the surface. Have you gotten ambushed yet? by any gangs or anything like that?
No, but I was wondering. There's this like a limb, outside of town. Have you ever encountered that? I
A
was wondering
limb.
what the heck is that. Yeah, I saw a leg and it was like a bloody scene. And then I tried to follow the trail, but it went backwards. So I was like, I didn't know where it was going, where it came from, and if it triggered any
Ah.
side mission. But there's like a leg by itself, like a human leg, and I was like, oh god,
Oh,
is there a
dude,
murderer going around?
that'd be interesting. Yeah, because there's totally a storyline like that in the first one, right? With cannibals and things like that.
Yeah.
So maybe I haven't run into that. That's crazy. But while I was hunting, I'm hunting in the north around where the bear was and then where the beavers are and stuff. Um, there's hill people up there, like hillbillies and stuff that live out there in the mountains. And they would ambush me, man, because I would be hunting in their forest too many times. So they would ambush me and try to kill me and stuff. And finally, I'm like, all right, dude, I got to take care of these guys because they're fucking annoying. I think one of them shot my horse too. And oh, dude, taking care of your horse in this game. You actually have to take care of your horse. You have to build a relationship with him, man, right?
Yep.
Because in the first one, there is that mechanic as well where you have to build your relationship with your horse, but all it really amounts to is, I think they come if you whistle for them. That and then their stamina gets higher and higher. I think the more familiar you get with your horse. In this one, your horse gets more stamina. Your horse gets more health.
They die
Yeah,
permanently.
your horse can actually die. I think in the first one you could just use your deed and your horse comes back up. If you're too far away from your horse, it won't come because you can't hear your whistle. You could whistle from Mexico to what do you call it? Blackwater, and your horse will come, dude. So it's a lot more realistic in that vein. But have you leveled up your horse at all, man?
I think I just bought a lot of attachments for it, but not leveled it up yet because I used the DLC or the pre-order.
Oh, okay. So I leveled up my horse, dude. He could strafe now. Like he walks sideways. It's the most amazing thing in the world, dude.
Oh man, how'd you do that? How do you even level? You just keep
I think
riding
you just have to
your
keep
horse?
riding him. Yeah, I think you have to keep riding him, keep feeding him, and keep petting him. That's a good boy. I just keep petting him. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, dang.
He just enjoys his time. But dude, it's so crazy. My horse walks sideways now. I think they call it drifting in the game.
I think if you press circle, he like kicks too.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
But...
Okay. So the ultimate cheese in this game, dude. If you have your gun out, double tap L1 to put your gun away. Just your pistol, and you'll thank me later, dude. Just next time you're playing the game, double tap L1 and to put your gun away. It's fucking great. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So of course, this guy shot my horse. So I'm pissed, dude. So I kill these guys, and one is actually running away from me. I think there was like 4 of them that were trying to ambush me. And I kill the 3 of them, and one of them just starts running away. So I chase him, but he's running like super fast for whatever reason. So I whistle for my horse. My horse comes. I jump on him, and I chase the guy, and I kill him. And I kill him outside this cave where there's a bunch of dead bodies and stuff. And I go, oh, dude, it's gonna be like a bear cave or something. And no, it's not a bear cave. It's actually their base. So a bunch of these hillbillies start pouring out of the cave and fighting me and stuff. I was like, oh my god, dude, I found it. I found the mother lode. And I go in the cave, and it's actually a pretty big cave, dude. And there was like 30 guys in there that I had to just mop up and kill. And it said, I guess everything you do in this game, whether it's looking at animals, leveling something up, buying a new gun, getting new equipment, it all gets put into a compendium. And you could look in the compendium at any point if you get something new. So I killed this whole gang, and it said updates in your compendium. So I opened it up, and there's a gang section, and it said I eliminated this gang, or I finished this gang 100% because I cleaned out their base. I was like, oh shit. I did something, I think, way too early. I hope they don't play a part in the story later. See, I have a tendency of doing that shit, right? In these open world games, just breaking it because we do stuff way, way too early, man. But it's just little things like that in the world where you think, okay, I'm just going to ride to the gunsmith real quick so I can buy a new gun with all this new money I found. On your way to the gunsmith, you'll run into a guy that's trying to rob you. After you kill him, you run into a guy that's leg is stuck in a bear trap and you need to save him. And then you need to take another guy to the doctor after he's been bit by a snake. And before you know it, you're across the world in a different town. You're like, what was I doing again? I forgot what I was supposed to do. Oh, that's right. I had to buy a new gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just great. I think we always talk about, I think with you, with that Batman game where everybody's just robbing banks and you have to stop them all over the city no matter what. And it's different villains here and there. With our recent experience with Spider-Man, just these small little, not even side missions, but encounters that you run into just make the world feel organic and just real. You know, it's this game is so great, man. I can't wait to. Actually, no, I'm gonna take my time with it as I've been taking my time with it now. I'll let the NPCs complain, man.
Like, where you been? It's been 1 year. We're supposed to leave.
I know, right?
But there's a feature too. Like, I like how you can customize your outfit and all that.
Yeah.
Because before it was mainly a full customized, or it was like just the general outfit
Full
itself
outfit,
that you
yeah.
can customize. But then now you can go into a little bit more detail, what color boots you want to wear, what kind of a saddle you want on your horse and all that. And then it's cool too that when you get dirty, you stay dirty kind of thing. And I still don't know how to clean myself, but basically I remember like killing an animal, like a deer. And then I accidentally skinned him first, and I was like, "Oh wait a minute! I don't know what's going on." So I put the pelt on top of my horse, and then I carried the corpse of the deer onto my horse, and I rode it back to my base. And then when I like sold everything, I looked on my shoulder, and it was like completely bloody. I was like, "Oh my god!" It was because I was carrying the deer. And then I go back to my horse, and there's like a lot of blood on my horse's butt, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then
wash your horse too.
Yeah, so I still don't know how to do that. And then also too, I didn't realize, but when I think when my horse got scared or something, I got off my horse and I realized my horse was pooping. I was like, "What are you doing, horse? The bear's not here yet."
Dude, I get so scared walking behind my horse, man, because I think I was doing this. I was just riding, and of course there's just someone on the side of the trail trying to, I guess, fix the horseshoe on his horse.
Yeah.
And I stopped. I was like, "Oh, do you need help?" And the guy's like, "Oh, yeah." And he turns his back for a second, and the horse kicks him and kills him. So ever since that happened, dude, I'm just afraid to walk behind my horse, man. It always freaks me out. I feel like I'm gonna get kicked, dude. But man, now the game's too fun, man. There's just too much to do. When I started playing the game, I forgot that you can wear your bandana to hide your identity, dude. I think when I first started playing, I built up like a $400 bounty on my head, man.
Yeah.
So it was hard to do anything because the bounty hunters would just come and try to kill me. And they have good aim, man. I had to hide a bunch of places from them, man.
Yeah.
So it's such a good times, dude. Oh, and I totally forgot, in Red Dead, you can find treasure maps.
Oh yeah.
I totally found a treasure map in Red Dead 2. I haven't really tried pursuing it yet, but man, I think that was one of my favorite side things to do in Red Dead, for sure. Because it wasn't mandatory. I think I did them way too late too, because I had no use for the money anymore. I kind of had finished the game and had all the money I needed. But at this point, I think in the beginning part of the game, if you actually find one of those treasures, you get some good money out of it. That's good times, man. Because I would always run into those by chance too, because the treasure maps in Red Dead were always like, "Oh, look for this tree, then walk 10 paces to the left, you'll see these rocks. The box is hidden behind one of these rocks," right? That's usually how the treasure maps are in Red Dead. So I think for the first time I ever found a treasure in the first Red Dead, I was literally on the trail just riding along. I was like, "Oh, hey, that rock formation looks familiar." I look at the map. "Oh, hey, that's where this treasure's supposed to be at." And that's how I found my first one. Just got to find the rest of them ever since. So I might actually pursue that next. That might be the next thing I do in the game if I don't get too distracted with hunting. Yeah.
I noticed that you can probably fish, so I
Oh,
hope I can find a fishing rod and
yeah.
start fishing.
I just did the mission where you learn how to fish, man, and you get the
Oh,
fishing
see,
rod.
there you go.
Dude.
Now I have to get it.
I know. It's not too hard. It's kind of easy, but whatever, man. I'm sure. Oh, you know what? I've already passed spots because you pass certain spots on the map. I think Arthur fills out the map with handwritten marks, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look on your map now, you'll see like a drawing of a bear with a crown on top of it, showing where you could find the legendary bear. So there's things like that all over the place. And yeah, he has that for fishing spots too, and finding, I guess, legendary fish out there. So I already have some legendary fishing spots I need to try and check out, dude. Try to catch those fish. And now that I'm thinking about it, man, how crazy is online going to be?
I don't know, but I just getting nervous because your aim has to be pure in order to compete with a lot of people online.
Yeah, not just that, but for me, for you and me who want to customize ourselves, I feel like a lot of the customization is gonna be not through PvP so much as it is through these world activities like they are in single player, right? Like, let's say we want to have the badass bear skin costume. We have to go out and hunt a fucking bear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wonder how crazy that's gonna be in Red Dead. I wonder if they're still gonna show where we're at on the map to all the other players in the world, and if there's just gonna be 20 people all hunting for the same bear at the same time. Only one person can skin it, so we're all gonna try and kill each other for the pelt of this bear. How wild would that be, bro?
Exactly. And then I hope that like we can do bandit missions where we can go to the hideouts, but like we can be competing with each other or with other people online to go through and get the treasure of the bandit stuff. Like versus I think when we went to the bandit areas, it kind of like isolated us into that mission. I want to be able to share that mission with other people online and
around.
Like, yeah, you like walk in and half the cave is already messed up, and then we're just waiting to loot the people coming out with their treasure or what they discovered.
A little bit like, oh man, what game is that where you could do that at? The Division. A little bit like The Division, where you can put people over in the PvP world. Oh yeah, man, that would be kind of crazy actually.
And then if you put on your bandana, it hides your player name.
See, that would be the ultimate.
Oh my god.
That would be great. I just hope. Well, see, now that I'm thinking about it too, I'm not that mad about if they show where players are on the map, because it takes forever for anybody to get anywhere, right?
Yeah.
The map is just huge, so we got to try that challenge again, man. Getting like that $1,000 bounty and living for 10 minutes.
Shit. Yeah, that was difficult. We have to hole ourselves up somewhere. A vantage point, put, I don't know, bombs or TNT if there is any.
Yeah. We got to try that challenge again, man. Oh, man. But the game is, there's just so much to do, so much to explore. And I really could care less about the story for now, man. I mean, the story is great so far. It's just us trying to rebuild after nearly getting caught, but at the same time getting chased by the cops, getting chased by other gangs and all this shit.
Yeah.
I think my favorite moment so far, other than the bear, I can't wait till you do some of these stranger missions, like some of the side missions. They're fucking hilarious, dude. After you do some of those, other than those, I think my favorite moment so far has been I was trailing a deer. All of my stories are going to start with me trying to hunt something, because I've really just been hunting in this game. I think I was hunting a deer or an elk or something, and I see out of nowhere there's this piece of wood with a hole in it and like a ladder going down. Just in the middle of nowhere, I'm off of the trail. I'm way out there in the wilderness. So I'll go, okay, might as well. And I'm scared because I could hear noises at the bottom of this thing. And this is after I've already killed all the hillbilly people. So I'm thinking, oh God, I'm about to run into another gang of them, you know? So I get my shotgun out. I get ready to go. I get to the bottom, and it's a mine. There's people with flashlight helmets in there. They're mining and stuff. And, you know, I lock onto them and they're like, oh, hey, good morning, blah, blah, blah. Just saying hi to me and all that. And I go, oh, cool. This isn't bad. It's a little mine. So I go around. I walk around, just say hi to everybody. I loot a couple chests, you know. And then instead of going back up the ladder I came from, I walk around and I see some light. So I go out towards the light, and it's the actual front entrance of this thing that leads out into a town. And I was like, what the fuck? I've totally been in this town, and I didn't know that this mine was here. So I kind of realized, I get my bearings where I'm at, and I'm like, okay, I'm done here. I'm going to go back. And my horse, he's by the original entrance I went through, by that ladder, you know. So I try to go back in the mine, but there's guards in front of it saying, hey, you're not a miner. You don't work here. Get the hell out of here, you know? And they go, oh, shit. I can't go back in. So I kind of walk like I'm walking away. And I'm like, fuck, I guess I'll walk around to get my horse. And I realize, fuck it, dude. I'm Arthur Morgan. I just run in there, you know? And I'm running in. And they start trying to shoot at me. And nobody else in the mine has guns. They just work there. They're mining shit. They all start running out. And there's red barrels in there. And one of the guys shoots the red barrels. And everything explodes, dude. A bunch of the miners fucking die. Somehow I survived barely. I'm just running and trying to get up this fucking ladder, dude. It was crazy, man. And I barely escaped. And after I escape, I'm just kind of sitting there with my horse away from the scene. I'm like, what the fuck just happened, dude? I was trying to hunt an elk. And I run into all this bullshit. Oh, man. It was well. And that's the beauty of the game. That's what we all strive for in these open world games, is just those adventures that you make yourself. You know, the game doesn't point you in a direction to be like, okay, here's this set piece where you have to snipe from this corner and then you'll see this train crash, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's, you make your own story, kind of. You role play yourself in the Wild West like this. So, dude, I can't wait to play more of this, man. This is the perfect game. It's going to suck for everyone else who tries to make an open world game after this.
Just keep putting the bar higher and higher.
Exactly. And then to think about, too, all the controversy that came up recently. You heard about that, right? How people were working, I think, 80-hour weeks for Rockstar just to finish the game. And how a lot of people are saying that isn't right, that violates a lot of labor laws and stuff. It's kind of a rough cycle, though. I mean, if you were working for Rockstar and they said, oh, hey, you have to work overtime today, would you work overtime?
If it's for a game, yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, I don't know, I guess that's my hobby, my thing, and I haven't seen exactly what kind of work they do and if it's that stressful, but generally it'll be yes until I actually do it myself. Then maybe it might change. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking too, because as you and I have it, we're fans, you know. Yeah. But I guess think about the most boring mission in this game and think about doing that same mission over and over and over again, you know. What if it's like one of the tutorial missions where you ride your horse up a hill? Or, for example, for me, what if it's like, oh, I have to play the fishing mission 100 times a day to try and break it or something like that, right? I could see where that can get kind of old. And I don't know, man. For me, I think there was an end goal and everybody knew what that end goal was. So, and they got paid still.
That's why I'm trying to calculate right now. I'm like, if they did like an extra 40 hours of overtime, on top of whatever they're getting paid, man, they're making pretty much bank at that point.
And see, and we're the problem. You know why? Because all these people are complaining about the work conditions and how it's inhumane, right? Yeah. And Rockstar's argument is, fine, go ahead, we could fire you and replace you with Brent and Rick, who would gladly take these positions and work 80 hours a week. So we're totally part of the problem. But it's not without vein. I think they accomplished something already amazing, and I've barely gone through chapter 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for nothing. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And they should definitely get their roses while they're out here to smell them. I just think one of the worst stories I heard was this guy had a kid during the development of Red Dead, and he had to work 80 hours, I think, Monday through Friday, just so he could have the weekends off or something like that. It was something. It probably wasn't 80. It was probably like 60. Because thinking about it, 80 hours would be crazy to work in 5 days. But he had to work something like 60-hour weeks just to have those 2 days off to hang out with his newborn. So in situations like that, it's kind of flagrant. But I don't know. I either got to take it all or dismiss it all. It's kind of wild.
I calculated roughly, but basically, if they have a $30 job and they worked 80 hours, they're pulling in $12,000 pre-tax.
A week or every 2 weeks?
Every 4 weeks.
Every 4 weeks.
Yeah.
God
so
damn.
$3,000 every week. But that's pre-tax, so maybe $8,000 roughly.
Yeah.
That's still fucking a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for sure. But think about your well-being.
Exactly, your sanity. Because if you do that straight nonstop for a couple months, I can see where people are going crazy. But I guess it's over since the release is kind of done. Maybe they can have that whole year break before they start on the next game.
I don't know about that. They still got Red Dead Online to come out.
Oh shit! Yeah,
November, I think, is what they said. That, and it's been widely rumored that Red Dead 2 is coming to PC, so they might be working on that as well.
Jeez.
Godspeed. And then again, crazy how people figure this shit out. Like the way they found out Red Dead 2 is going to be on PC is they found someone's LinkedIn profile. And saw that he worked on Red Dead for PC on his LinkedIn profile.
Dang.
Fucking sleuths out there, man. But yeah, no, not enough can be said, man. It really is the perfect game, as a lot of people have been saying, giving it perfect 10s, dude. I just won't hear it from anybody else because they might spoil the game for me, man. Because all I know is that something as crazy as the ending of Red Dead 1 happens in Red Dead 2. You know what I mean? And fuck it, we'll spoil it here, man. How John dies at the end of Red Dead 1 and you control Jack. Something as crazy as that happens in Red Dead 2, I've heard. So I'm going media blackout on all things Red Dead on the internet, man. I'm not looking for tips. I'm not looking for nothing because I might accidentally see a spoiler, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been avoiding all like the money tricks or what you should be doing. I'm like, no, I want to find that myself and learn the hard way. Exactly. And then also I was thinking too that maybe once I beat Red Dead, 2, I might go back to Red Dead 1.
I was thinking that as well, yeah.
Continue, like what exact, because I don't really remember what happened in Red Dead 1. I just remember it was amazing. And I just want to see that continuation from the story of like where you have to chase Bill Williamson and whatnot.
Dude, Bill Williamson seems kind of like buff in this game, doesn't he?
I think so. He scared me to I was like approaching the camp at night, and he like comes out of like a bush or something. I think he's peeing, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "What the fuck?" I almost shot you.
Wait, I don't remember him in Red Dead being as buff as he is in Red Dead 2. It's kind of weird. Maybe he lost a lot of weight. I
remembered him. Yeah, he was like kind of chubby. Maybe, I don't know, the age got to him.
Yeah, maybe. It's funny. He asked me for hair pomade. It's so great, just the different interactions you have like in camp, if you're just walking around camp. I think one night everyone was eating dinner and Javier busts out the guitar and everybody starts singing a song and gives you a prompt to join in singing with them, dude. It's fucking great, man. And you can hear Arthur kind of just singing in the background, dude. It's fucking awesome. This game is so great. But I was walking around camp and I think Bill was just kind of sitting down. He goes, "Hey, Arthur, can you give me some pomade for my hair? I was like, what, dude? Yeah, some hair pomade, because I'd used it on him. You know what I mean? I'd cut Arthur's hair, and holy shit, by the way, you could grow your hair and cut it depending on how much time passes, dude. That's fucking
exactly.
amazing.
I'm gonna have a long ass beard,
Dude. I'm just gonna have the craziest mustache, man. I think is what I'm gonna do. Just gonna be bald with a mustache. But yeah, so I put hair pomade in Arthur's hair, so I think that's what prompted Bill to like ask me for pomade. It's funny though, because when he asks you, Arthur's like, okay, I guess I'll go to town and buy you some pomade. Bill's like, oh, that's a good idea, maybe. But I already had some on me, so I just gave it to him. And Bill's like, oh, thanks, I owe you one. And Arthur's like, you could owe me by never talking about this again. It's such a great interaction, man, amongst many. There's a lot of funny moments like that in the game, dude. And I can't wait. I feel like we barely scratched the surface, dude. So
yeah,
I still need to hunt. Man, see, all I do is hunt in this game. I still need to hunt the fucking alligators, dude. And I need a high-powered rifle to do it. I can't buy those yet, so I might stop hunting until I can get a high-powered rifle.
you can't use your one that you got from the pre-order.
No, you have to use one of the scoped rifles, I think, to do it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So what it is, I think if an animal like runs away from you too much, or let's say you kill a rabbit with a shotgun, then if you get the pelt, it won't be a perfect pelt. It'll be like a poor rabbit pelt,
like
or
a
something.
poor,
Yeah, poor quality. So I think what I've been finding is to get the perfect quality stuff, you have to use like a bow and arrow and get a clean like one-shot kill, or you got to use the little varmint rifle on the smaller animals to get the kill. Tried hunting bison, and you cannot kill that shit with one arrow. So it's gonna be hard getting the perfect bison pelt with a bow and arrow. I think I have to use the sniper rifle on those guys too. So can't wait. Red Dead. They might as well call it Red Hunting 2. Red Hunting Redemption 2, dude.
Just give me a fishing pole and I'm good.
Man, I kind of want to see what it's like. I might try that after this. Is try to fish for one of the legendary fish out there. See what I get, dude. Oh man. But yeah, it's been a rootin' tootin' good time so far, and I think Rick and I can't wait to get back in it.
Woo-woo.
I guess I'll try to finish Spider-Man by next week, so we're talking about more than just Red Dead next week. I'll put some time aside for it. But yeah, until then, Rick, some words of wisdom?
If you're going to living spaces, just watch out for the janitor.